I peeked. I should not have, but I did. The universe left the door cracked open just a hair, just enough for a sliver of light to escape, and I pressed my eye to the gap like a child spying on a surprise party they are not supposed to know about. And, Virgo, what I saw on the other side of that door, it is not a gentle unfolding. It is not a slow reveal. It is a plot twist so perfectly orchestrated, so ruthlessly precise, so completely hidden in plain sight that I had to physically sit down. I had to put my hand over my mouth. I had to remind myself to breathe. Because the person you think you know, the one you have categorized, filed away, labeled with a neat little descriptor like distant or polite or probably moved on, that person has been running a masterclass in misdirection, and the curtain is about to rise on a scene that nobody, not a single soul in your orbit, saw coming, least of all you. But I am getting ahead of myself. Before I walk you through the exact sequence of the next 48 hours, and I mean exact, down to the emotional physics of each moment, I need you to check your pulse. Not metaphorically. Actually check it. Place 2 fingers on your wrist and see if it is racing. If it is, if your body already knows that something is accelerating toward you faster than your mind can process, hit that like button with the same urgency you would use to hold a door open for someone running through a storm. Subscribe to this channel because this is the only place where the universe leaks its own spoilers. And drop the word twist in the comments, not because I need the algorithm, because you need to claim your seat before the show starts. The lights are dimming, the orchestra is tuning, and the opening act of the rest of your life begins in exactly 48 hours. Now, let me tell you about the misdirection because it is the most impressive part. This person, the architect of what is coming, has been living inside your peripheral vision for months, maybe longer. They have been so careful, so consistent, so maddeningly normal that you have completely forgotten to be suspicious of them. They show up where they are expected. They say what is appropriate. They laugh at the right moments, offer help when it is requested, and retreat when it is polite to do so. They have been the very definition of fine. And fine is the most dangerous disguise in the world because fine is invisible. Fine does not set off alarms. Fine is the costume you wear when you are planning something so large that any hint of excitement would give the whole game away. But beneath the fine, Virgo, there has been a machine running, a machine built from stolen glances, from midnight research, from conversations with strangers who did not know they were being interviewed for a position on your future security detail. This person has been assembling a blueprint, not a fantasy, not a Pinterest board of wishes, a working 3-dimensional logistics-heavy blueprint for a takeover, not a hostile takeover, a loving one, the kind where the target, in this case, your heart wakes up one morning to discover that the fortress they thought was impenetrable has already been infiltrated, not by force, but by someone who memorized the architecture of every wall you built and simply walked through the gaps you forgot were there. And nobody noticed. Your friends did not notice. They looked at this person and saw someone pleasant, someone harmless, someone who had clearly accepted their place in the friend zone or the colleague zone or the we used to be something but now we are civil zone. Your family did not notice. If they met this person, they walked away with a shrug and a vague compliment about their manners. Even you, Virgo, with your famously observant eye, your attention to detail that misses nothing, even you have been looking directly at the plan without seeing it. Because the plan was designed to look like absence. It was designed to look like acceptance. It was designed to look like someone who had made their peace with the way things were. That was the performance. And it was Academy Award worthy, but the performance ends in 48 hours. The mask comes off, the script gets rewritten, and the person who has been playing the supporting role in the movie of your life is about to steal the entire film. Let me walk you through the sequence because your mind needs the map. You need to know what is coming so that when it arrives, you do not panic and call it a mistake. You need to recognize the choreography for what it is, the most elaborate love letter ever constructed in secret. Hour 48. The first domino. It will not look like a domino. It will look like a text. A message that arrives at a time that seems slightly off, slightly too early, or slightly too late, carrying a piece of information that feels random until you look at it closely. Maybe it is a link to a song. Maybe it is a question about a detail you mentioned in passing weeks ago. Maybe it is a photograph of something that only matters to the two of you, something you thought they had forgotten. They have not forgotten. They have been cataloging every shared reference like evidence in a case they are about to present to the jury of your heart. The message will seem casual. It is not casual. It is the ignition switch. It is the first gear engaging. And when you read it, you will feel a subtle shift, like the barometric pressure dropping before a storm. You will not know why you feel it. You will tell yourself you are imagining things. You are not. Hour 36. The second domino. This one is public. This person who has been so careful to remain neutral, so committed to the role of the easygoing bystander, makes a move that raises eyebrows. Maybe they speak up in a meeting where your name is mentioned. Maybe they correct a mutual acquaintance who mischaracterizes you. Maybe they post something somewhere that does not mention you by name but is so specifically, so unmistakably about you that the people who know both of you will feel the temperature change. The comments section will light up with confusion. Since when do they post like this? Is this about Virgo? What is happening? Your phone will buzz. People will ask you if you know what is going on. You will play dumb because you genuinely will not know. Not yet. But the seed of suspicion will be planted. The audience will lean forward in their seats. The murmur will begin. Hour 24. The turn. This is where the plot twists so sharply that you will feel it in your spine. This person will contact you directly, not through the usual channels, not through the diluted, polite, carefully measured language you have grown accustomed to. They will bypass the protocol entirely. Perhaps they show up physically at your door or your office or the place they know you will be at that exact moment. Perhaps they call instead of text, forcing you to hear their voice, which will sound different, steadier, deeper, stripped of the hesitations that used to lace every conversation. Or perhaps they send a document, a letter, a recording, something that required preparation, that could not have been composed on the spot, that proves they have been working on this for longer than the last 48 hours, much longer. And what they say, Virgo, what they deliver in that moment will not be a confession. It will not be a trembling, uncertain, I think I might have feelings for you kind of speech. Those days are over. The uncertainty has been incinerated. What they deliver will be a statement of fact. Calm, devastating, irrevocable. They will tell you that they have been waiting, that they have been watching, that they have seen every version of you, the competent one, the exhausted one, the guarded one, the one who jokes when they are scared, and they have chosen every single version, not the best one, all of them. They will tell you that the distance you thought was mutual was actually a holding pattern, that the silence you interpreted as disinterest was actually restraint, that every time they step back, they were not retreating, they were loading ammunition. They were preparing for the exact moment when they could step forward with enough force to knock every objection out of your hands. You will not know what to say. Your mind, that beautiful, relentless, over-processing Virgo mind, will short circuit. It will try to generate a spreadsheet of reasons why this is impractical, why the timing is wrong, why the chemistry is too complicated, why the obstacles are too large, but the words will not come. Because standing in front of you, or breathing through the phone, or staring up at you from the page, will be the living proof that someone has already done the math. Someone has already solved for every variable. Someone has already looked at the full equation of your connection and arrived at an answer so simple it will humble you. Yes. Hour 12. The physical evidence. Because this person knows you, Virgo. They know that words, however sincere, are not enough for you. You need proof. You need the receipts. You need to see that this is not a feeling. This is a decision that has already been executed. And so, in the hours following their declaration, the evidence will begin to arrive. Maybe it is a ticket, a reservation, a key, a change of address form, a contract, something that proves they have already altered the machinery of their life to accommodate your presence in it. They did not wait for your answer. They did not ask for permission. They already decided. They already moved. They already chose a future that has you in it, and they are presenting it to you not as a question, but as a fait accompli, not as pressure, as poetry, as the tangible, hold it in your hands proof that you are not being asked to believe in a fantasy. You are being invited into a reality that is already under construction. The people around you will be reeling. The ones who thought they had this person pegged as mild, as accommodating, as someone who would never make waves, they will be watching in stunned silence as this person calmly dismantles every expectation. They will watch them decline invitations that no longer fit their new trajectory. They will watch them redirect phone calls, reassign responsibilities, redraw boundaries with a precision that mirrors your own. They will watch them become, in real time, the person you always suspected they could be, but were too afraid to hope for, and the whispers will turn into a roar. Who are they? Since when are they like this? What did Virgo do to them? And the answer, which nobody will understand, is nothing. You did nothing. You simply existed. You simply were yourself. And that was enough to inspire a quiet person to become a force of nature. Hour 0, the arrival, the moment when the last domino falls and the picture is finally visible in its entirety. You will be somewhere ordinary. Your kitchen, your car, a hallway, a street corner where the light hits the pavement at an angle that makes everything look golden, even if it is just concrete. And they will be there, not performing, not declaring, just present. Fully, completely, irrevocably present. The 48 hours will have done their work. The announcements will have been made. The evidence will have been presented. And what remains is simply the two of you standing in the aftermath of a plot twist that has rewritten the entire season of your life. They will look at you, you will look at them, and for the first time, there will be no performance, no misdirection, no script. Just the raw, terrifying, magnificent truth of two people who have finally stopped pretending that they are not the main event. The supporting actor has stepped into the spotlight, the audience is on its feet, and the credits are not rolling. This is not the end. This is the beginning of the only chapter that ever mattered. Now, I need to talk to you about your role in this, because you are not merely an audience member in this production. You are a co-star, and if you do not know your lines, the scene will falter. You are going to want to run. Your nervous system, which has been trained to expect disappointment, will interpret this abundance as a threat. You will look at the ticket, the key, the reservation, the irrefutable evidence of their commitment, and you will feel a surge of panic that masquerades as logic. You will say, "This is too fast." You will say, "This is too much." You will say, "We need to slow down and think about this." And Virgo, when those words rise in your throat, I need you to swallow them. Not because thinking is bad, but because you have already thought. You have thought yourself into circles for months, maybe years. You have analyzed the angles until the angles lost all meaning. This person knows that about you. They accounted for it. They built their plans specifically to bypass your overthinking by presenting you with a reality that is already in motion. They are not asking you to build the plane. They are asking you to buckle your seatbelt while the plane is already in the air. You do not need to match their grand gesture with a grand gesture of your own. You do not need to have a speech prepared. You do not need to be eloquent or graceful or even fully composed. What you need to be is honest. If your heart is saying yes, say yes. Not maybe, not let us see, not I need time to process. You have had time. You have had nothing but time. The 48 hours that are coming are not for processing. They are for landing. They are for letting your body catch up to a truth your spirit has known since the first time you met this person and felt something shift in the atmosphere that you could not name. If there are people in your life who are shocked by this development, let them be shocked. If there are voices that question the speed, the intensity, the apparent suddenness of it all, let them question. They are reacting to the plot twist the same way any audience reacts when the quiet character reveals themselves as the hero. They are entitled to their surprise, but they are not entitled to your hesitation. You do not owe the peanut gallery a delay. You do not owe the skeptics a trial, period. The only person you owe anything to is the one standing in front of you with their heart in their open hands and a blueprint for your shared future rolled up under their arm. There is one more thing I must warn you about, and I do not use the word warn lightly. When this happens, when the 48 hours unfold exactly as I have described them, you are going to experience a peculiar grief. A grief for the version of yourself who did not believe this was possible. The version who settled for less because less was predictable. The version who told themselves that love like this only exists in stories, that real life is more complicated, that people do not actually rearrange their entire existence for the sake of another person. That version of you is going to die, Virgo, and the death will be painless, but it will be real. You will mourn them for a moment. You will look back at the life you were living before the dominoes started falling, and you will feel a strange, tender nostalgia for the safety of your own imprisonment. Do not let that nostalgia seduce you. Do not let the ghost of your old fear convince you to bar the door just when the rescue has arrived. Open it wide. Let the light in. Let the noise in. Let the plot twist rewrite you down to the cellular level. I want you to do something specific when hour 0 arrives. I want you to touch their face. Not a hug, not a kiss. Those will come. I want you to touch their face with your fingertips lightly, as if you are verifying that they are solid, that they are real, that the person in front of you is not a hallucination born of your own loneliness. Feel the warmth, feel the texture, feel the absolute, undeniable reality of someone who chose you so completely that they turned their entire life into a missile aimed at the center of your doubt. And when you feel that reality, when your fingers confirm that this is flesh and blood and choice and commitment, I want you to say one word, just one, their name. Say it like a password. Say it like the key to a door that has been locked from the inside for too long. Say it like the first word of a story that is going to take the rest of your life to tell. The clock is already ticking. The first domino is already wobbling. The audience is leaning forward in their seats. And the person who has been waiting in the wings, memorizing their lines, adjusting their costume, and building a set piece, so elaborate it could only be described as devotion, is about to step into the light. Do not blink, Virgo. Do not look away. Do not check your phone or make a list or calculate the risk. The risk was never in saying yes. The risk was always in missing this, in letting the 48 hours pass you by while you were still trying to figure out if you deserve them. You deserve them. You deserve the plot twist. You deserve the gasp of the crowd. You deserve the person who looked at the script everyone handed them, smiled politely, and then tore it up to write a better one. The curtain is rising. Your name is in lights, and the love of your life is already on stage, waiting for you to join them. Take the cue. Step into the scene and let the rest of your life begin.